Welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. I'm your co-host Cicely.
I'm your host Hayden.
Today we're talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
But first, this is our 50th episode.
Cool, I didn't even know that.
This is our 50th episode, so something to, I guess, celebrate it a little bit. Cicely, what has been your favorite movie so far out of the 50 episodes?
I didn't know you were gonna hit me with questions.
Uh-huh.
Favorite movie?
That we've done so far.
My favorite movie that we've done is The Shining.
Well,
What are you asking?
well, I guess we did do The Shining. But I'm asking, like, what,
Favorite episode?
yeah. What movie would you say was like, oh, this was actually surprisingly good, or
You really want to know?
or maybe it was Rubber for you,
It
wasn't
was
it?
Rubber.
Yeah, I thought so.
Rubber was the most life-changing one for me. I'll defend that movie till I die. So, favorite movie we've done? Shining. Favorite episode?
Rubber.
Rubber.
I'd probably have to. Well, yeah, my favorite movie's still Evil Dead 2, but I really enjoyed our episode for the Haunted Mansion, the new one.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I thought that was a really good movie.
Yeah. Or, well, Stay Alive. That's one of my nostalgic favorite movies, but this one actually might be up there too.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot.
This was a really good movie. This was my first time seeing it too.
Me too.
What do you think was the most fun we had on one of these episodes?
The most fun we had?
Yeah.
Huh. I think it would have to involve when we went out and watched the movie and then came back and recorded it the same day.
That was
Haunted Mansion and Silent Night.
And what?
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah, that was that was a lot of fun.
That was a good one too.
We
I
just
liked
went-
Violent Night.
We literally watched the movie and then came straight here for both those movies and just
And
recorded
recorded.
the episode in the same day. Because it was like the day before the episode was going to come out or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I had a lot of fun with that one. Or the humanoids from the deep.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a good
really
one.
fun. That was really funny. So we haven't had too many awful movies, but what do you think was the worst one we've seen?
Tusk.
Tusk?
100%.
Yes.
day.
From
That one made me physically fucking gag. That's always gonna be...
It's a disgusting movie. From like a disgusting standpoint, it's definitely Tusk. But from like a movie standpoint, it's probably Blood Rage,
Blood Rage.
the Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, that was so bad.
It was so bad.
Tusk was shot better and had like better
Exactly.
actors
Yes.
and like all that stuff.
Like Blood Rage
Blood
was
Rage
like
was bad.
it was like cringy.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch.
Yeah, I'd probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think was the best movie? Like used its budget the best and
Can
best
I refer
actors?
to our list because I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of things.
Yeah. What
So
was
let
like
me
your
hop on
your
here.
opinion of the best movie we've done as far as like actors and budget? And
You tell us yours first, and I'll decide.
for me, I would probably have to go with Midsummer because I absolutely love Florence Pugh. I think she's a wonderful actress, and I feel like the shots in that movie were so well thought out, and it seemed like they appropriately used their budget, and to me it looked like they were actually like in somewhere in Sweden. It looked like, because
Yeah.
you look at pictures on the internet of Sweden and it's kind of looks like where they were
Mhm.
or whatever. But I really that was definitely one of my favorite movies. Not my favorite movie, but I could watch that many times. Just on the sole fact I think it was the most well shot movie we've done so far. Or Nope.
Nope
was
good
excellent. What's yours?
I'm gonna have to go with Hereditary.
That's another one. That's really up there too.
Because that one... It hurt first time watching it.
Yeah.
Thought I was gonna have a heart attack. It was so scary.
Yeah, for sure. What's one movie that you hope we do at some point?
I would like to do all the Halloween movies at some point, or more of the Scream movies,
Oh yeah.
or Child's Play.
Oh yeah, I would like to do some Child's Play. I want to do the new Scream movies at the very
Mhm.
least.
Scream 2 is good.
I didn't personally care for 2, 3, or 4. I like 1 is probably my favorite out of the whole series.
Yeah.
But
Same.
5 and 6, excellent.
I think we gotta do Chucky. I think we gotta do Child's Play.
Yeah, we got to do at least one of them, for sure. Mine would probably be the Five Nights at Freddy's movie
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
in October.
That'd be good.
I really want to do that one so bad. It seems like it's going to be a great movie. I don't watch trailers for movies anymore, and I definitely did not watch it for Five Nights at Freddy's.
I know that we have. Sorry,
I
my
hate.
thoughts are thinking too fast.
I hate watching a trailer and then they like give you everything in the movie
And basically spoil it.
and spoil the whole fucking thing. So I don't watch them anymore. From what people say, they don't do that with Five Nights, but I'd rather just be safe. But from the pictures I saw, the animatronics look great. Matthew Lillard's in it. Come on. But yeah, I really want to do that one, and it comes out in October, so I think we should.
I think so too. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
No, fair enough.
I'll remember later. I remember now. I know we have to do Terrifier 2 at some point.
Yes.
I really don't want to.
We should do it on Halloween. Get it out of the way. October's coming up. It's a good month.
Scared. I'm scared.
So where do you see this podcast going?
I don't know, dude.
Just
What about you?
Do you think we're just gonna keep doing?
We should
for
do
fun, or-
like we should do tour scary places. That's where I'd like to go.
Yeah.
I think a YouTube video or a YouTube channel and us going to scary places with a little camera.
It's not a bad idea.
I think that'd be fun.
Have like an extras YouTube channel
Yeah.
and just post videos of doing
Yeah.
scary stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
That would be pretty cool. We do have Betty Knox in Dunbar.
We could go there.
The mountain trail. Have you been up there before?
Nope.
That's a pretty
We
freaky.
could vlog that stuff.
Yep.
I think
I have a GoPro and,
I think people would like to see
and
that.
whatnot. So yeah, I think that's actually that.
And then we would be out and about instead of just sitting here in your basement. Not that it's awful. I'm just saying we could get out.
Yeah, and do stuff.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of haunted places around here.
I think there is. Even if we had to like road trip a little, I think it'd be a good excuse.
Oh yeah.
Not far. Just like
Nah, I'm
within
not going
the hour.
like 3 hours away
No,
to go
within
to
the
a haunted.
hour, I think there's a lot actually.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea too. Actually, I like that.
Or if people have haunted houses we need to go explore. We should get one of those little, what do they call 'em? Like the speaker, the voice box.
The spirit box.
Yeah, we should get one of those.
That's kind of freaky. Be amateur paranormal investigators.
We should. Wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah, it actually would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You got to get yourself a GoPro.
Okay.
I have a bunch of straps, like chest straps and head
Yeah.
straps and shit. So you should just get yourself a
I
GoPro
will.
and we can just be amateur ghost hunters on an extras channel while we're doing movies.
Okay, let us know what you think, guys. I think it'd be entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. And that would give us an excuse to show these people about riding a bicycle. A thing we never did.
I was hoping everyone would just forget about that. I just told someone
Mom
the
has
other day.
not.
I just told someone the other day I don't know how to ride a bike. And they're like, no, you'll pick it right back up. I'm like,
Yeah, you
I
should.
don't think so.
But Mom keeps saying that we need to do it. So.
I don't think so.
But yeah, that was just as a 50th episode surprise thing. Recap. I just wanted to do something a little different.
Cool.
To commemorate the 50th episode. And I think we did it. Well, we didn't pick it. Rain picked it. Rain picked a pretty good movie for, not that he picked the 50th episode, but for our 50th episode. I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be funny.
I kind of assumed.
It's funny.
Just because of Alan Tudyk, who was Tucker.
Uh-huh.
He's in a bunch of other comedy movies.
Dodgeball?
Yes, he's Steve the Pirate. A Knight's Tale.
Yep.
Anyway, he's a really good actor too.
Yeah, he is.
I like him a lot. So, we can get into this. So go ahead and read the stuff.
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It came out in 2010. It's rated R. It's an hour and 29 minutes, and it's rated a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Affable hillbillies. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Affable hillbillies, Tucker and Dale are on vacation at their
Deserted?
At their dilapidated mountain cabin when they are mistaken for murderers by a group of preppy college students.
Cool. So, we'll read the question real quick from last week. Be the top one.
I can't. The top one?
Yeah.
What actress played the heroine Helen Lyle in the 1992 film Candyman? Virginia Madsen?
Yep. And Mom actually got that right. Good job, Mom.
Nice. Bet she Googled it. I'm just kidding.
She better not have Googled it. That's cheating.
I'm JK lolling.
That's like the third question she's got.
God damn.
She got The People Under the Stairs, which made us do that movie next, pretty much. And I don't know. Candyman, that would be a good movie to do. Candyman.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's been a long time. But all right, let's get into the movie.
Let's get into it.
Because I really did like this one a lot.
Me too.
There was a immediate start at the beginning. It was like about 5 seconds of credits, and then it was just like movie immediately. And there was a little snippet, not mind you, it wasn't very much, but it was a little snippet of like a found footage.
Uh-huh.
And I really like found footage films, like horror movies. And I don't care if it was like 3 seconds, or it was more like 15 seconds or whatever. I don't care how short it was. I actually really liked when people add the found footage era.
Uh-huh.
Or found footage-esque type
vibe.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I know it was only like 15 seconds, but I thought it was really cool. And then the preppy kids are in the car, and they swerve around Tucker and Dale's truck, and they're yelling out the window and at them and stuff. And then the part that I thought was really funny was when the truck was like passing them, and they're just like staring at him, and Dale has a beer on his chest, and he's like staring at him with a wide mouth and his eyes real wide.
So dumb.
It's so dumb and funny. I thought that scene was really really funny.
I thought so too.
And then I like that we're like kind of introduced to Tucker and Dale in a way. It didn't like all out, background story type deal. It was just like the kids show up to the gas station, and Tucker and Dale are already inside, and we kind of see them. And he's staring at at Allie through like the pickled egg jars and stuff, and I thought that was really funny. And I also like the perspective flip, because it seemed like the preppy kids were going to be the main characters of the movie. Technically, yes, they are, but like the main focus.
But they're not.
But then in the gas station, it flips.
Uh-huh.
Like we're following the preppy kids, and then all of a sudden, seamlessly, we start following Tucker and Dale. it's movies about them,
Yeah.
so we should have. But
Yeah.
like, I liked how seamless the transition there was. But I also thought it was funny when they scared him away. And he's like, just go talk to her, smile and laugh. And he's carrying this big scythe.
For
For what?
why?
Why are you holding that? And I just thought the way he approached him was really funny.
Uh-huh.
The comedy in this movie was
Good.
it was really good. And then them getting pulled over.
Uh-huh.
He looked like he was giving him roadhead or something.
Yeah.
And they're best friends, and you could swear they were brothers the way they were
acting.
acting, and it was just funny for them for like the lewd jokes to be in there about those two. And then there was one in the gas station. He said, lubricated condoms. For what?
For what?
It's just you and Dale.
What do you need those for?
It was just it was a blink and you'll miss it type joke, which was funny. And not that you'll
Those are
blink
my
and miss it,
favorite.
but yeah, like
The
in
real
the background,
subtle jokes
Yeah.
that you really have to pay attention to. I love those.
and then they show up to the cabin, and it was real funny that he's acting like this, almost like falling in cabin. It's like
Uh-huh.
this like mansion or whatever. It kind of puts into perspective like different people's versions of the
Of
saying.
luxury.
The saying is like one person's trash is another person's treasure or
Yeah.
whatever, and it goes that is true for this specific moment or whatever, and it's also very it's like paying homage to Evil Dead with the cabin.
Uh-huh.
It looks very much like a cabin from Evil Dead, which I really like. And obviously, this movie has influences from that, but we'll
Love
get
a
into
good
that later.
cabin in the woods movie.
And then I thought it was very interesting for them to talk about the Memorial Day massacre, talking about how
Uh-huh.
these people were murdered out here, and like the scene, the flashback scene thing with like the guy scratching his neck with the saw blade and throwing it at the dude.
That was
That was cool.
gnarly.
And that was like the first like gory section of this movie. The first of many, I should say. Because it doesn't skip on the blood and gore, which is good for a horror movie. If it has to be rated R because there's so much blood in it, it's fine. Be rated R. It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely don't skip over it, and that's good. And then the scene where they're saving Allie is really funny.
He said, "I don't want to be a peeping Tom."
I don't want to be a peeping Tom. You're being a peeping Tom. It's just so funny
So funny.
the way that they acted with each other, and how she just fell into the.
She just fell right in.
That was.
Didn't come back up.
I know, that was wild to see that. They basically caused that
Yeah.
in a way.
And then they saved her.
Yeah. Which they thought that they were killing her, but okay. They just ran away.
Yeah, I don't see how that realistically would happen, but it did.
Yeah, they think that they just rode up in a little rowboat and said, "Hey, we're taking you." They're in a little tiny rowboat. They have oars. They don't have an engine. That'd be one thing if they could pull up real fast, snatch her, and pull out, but they were literally rowing. It just goes to show you these kids are idiots. And then it's the scene where Dale is finally talking to Allie, and he's still kind of nervous, but it's more of like, I'm a little more comfortable than nervous at this point, because I don't know, he's like explaining like, we're not gonna kill you, because why would you think that?
Yeah.
And
this
is also a good like stereotype movie. Like,
oh yeah, it is.
Like not every backwoods hillbilly you see
It's
is
gonna...
insane.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just it goes to prove like the book judge a book by its cover thing, which is cool. And there's the scene that I thought was super funny too, was where he's he's like chopping the wood with the chainsaw and he cuts into the hornet's nest. That was probably the funniest part of the movie for me. Like the whole section where he cuts the bee's nest and then he starts running with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's an absolutely hilarious scene, but just like let go of the trigger. Don't don't rev the chainsaw while you're running. It was just so stupid and unnecessary, but it was absolutely hilarious.
So funny.
And then, you know, the kid, you know, ends up running into the branch or whatever and stabs himself. And that's like an ongoing theme in this movie.
They just basically keep killing themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the kids think that Tucker and Dale killed him because they saw him running with a chainsaw. Which okay.
I can see it.
I can see it, but like, if he had a chainsaw, why would he kill him with a branch?
Yeah. Why would he?
So
he was in the hole as he fell in. Right.
So the college kids' version of thinking kind of seemed like backwards in a way. You know what I mean? Because they were like, they saw him with the chainsaw, but they were still like, oh, he somehow shoved a branch
into him
without moving the branch or anything. Anyway, it was just wild that they went straight to the thinking that they did it. The note didn't help. We have your friend. The note didn't help, but we gotta you know, give him a little credit. It is Dale.
Yeah.
He even says he's not smart. And he probably didn't think, oh, this sounds like a little serial killer.
Sounds like a murder note. We have your friend.
We have your friend. But that definitely didn't help. And then they show up to attack Tucker and Dale. And everything goes wrong. Not a single thing goes the way that it should. They're trying to stupidly kill Tucker and Dale because they think they're the murderers, turning themselves into murderers or attempted murderers, you know? And the kid jumps straight into the fucking wood chipper. And then the other kid stabs himself in the shitter hole.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing theme of this movie that nothing goes right in this entire thing, and it's just always blamed on Tucker and Dale through the whole movie. And I think that is what makes this movie as good as it is the fact that nothing goes right. And that's what this movie does differently than most others, especially parodies of horror movies, is that nothing happens the way it's supposed to or the way that we think it's going to happen. And I like that better.
Me too.
And then they go and get the sheriff. You know, that one kid who went back for his car or whatever the hell he was doing, came back with the sheriff, and they all get in the back. And they show up at the exact time they were pulling the body out. Which, okay.
They just kept Tucker and Dale were in the wrong place at the wrong time all
Absolutely,
the time.
the whole movie.
And
they did nothing.
Other
than beat that kid.
Yeah.
He was fighting with that kid. That's the only wrong thing that either of them did in this movie. And okay, trying to hide the body, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, they never killed anybody.
No.
Actually, they never killed anyone, period. It was an accident for that kid who died at the end. He fell through the door and killed himself. So the whole movie, every kid kills themselves or each other. And Tucker and Dale never killed a single person. Which, that's kind of refreshing in a way. So that kind of makes this movie, you know, better just for the fact that the main people who are supposedly the murderers never killed a single person. But this is the part that shit really goes south. Shit really hits the fan because it just gets more and more gruesome. The cop gets smacked in the face. It was foreshadowed earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
When Tucker almost got nailed in the face, but the sheriff gets nailed in the face with that board.
Just by leaning on a post.
Just by leaning on a post. And it's the interaction between Tucker and Dale.
Uh-huh.
He's like, how is he still walking even? It's just so funny. And he's like getting in the car, scaring the shit out of the kids. And like, I get it. If you saw it from the kids' point of view, it'd look bad. But like, Tucker and Dale didn't act like murderers.
No, they just stood there.
If they were trying to kill people, they would have been running after the sheriff, trying to stop him from calling and trying to get the kids and kill them and all this other stuff, which is kind of the opposite of what they were doing. But it's still, you know, incredibly funny. And then the kid grabs the sheriff's gun and fucking accidentally shoots himself.
He said you gotta take the safety off.
Funny thing is, there is no safety on that type of gun.
Okay.
But it's just funny that he's like looking around and he points the gun right at his
Just
face.
shoots himself. That's crazy.
Like,
What are you
even
doing?
the stupidest people know not to point a gun at themselves.
Yeah.
But whatever. Just looking for a safety. And then the other kid, who I have no idea except Allie, whose names any of them are.
Uh-huh.
I forgot. Tucker, Dale, and Allie are the only names in this movie that I know. But the asshole kid tries to shoot Tucker and Dale, and they start like going like they're like army crawling on the floor and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was super funny that like they're like freaking out. And it's obvious like they are not killing the people because they're like so flustered and have no idea what the hell's going on, that if the kids were a little smarter, they would have figured out like, hey,
these guys
aren't
trying to
really
kill
doing
anybody.
anything.
Yeah.
But he lets the dog free. Actually, I like the part where he's setting up the nail gun and everything. He's just fucking shooting it out the window. That was a really funny scene. But the kids catch Tucker after he was letting the dog free and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he like covers himself in the dirt and he goes, oh please no. He just looked up and saw the kid. It's like, how is this college kid so much stronger than Tucker? And Dale is the thing.
I have no
That's
idea.
Crazy. That's really crazy about this movie. But there was Dale trying to explain what was going on to Allie. He's just like, I have no idea what is going on. He just said that like 3 or 4 times. He's like, I really don't know. And he doesn't. He
Makes
really
me kinda
has.
sad.
He has absolutely no fucking clue what's happening.
Yeah.
Just kids are killing themselves. And he told his side of the story. It was like, these kids, your friends, just keep showing up and they keep dying and I don't even fucking touch them. Like that
Makes me feel bad for him.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just glad that Allie like believed him.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn into like Allie was running away from them too.
Yeah. I'm glad
But
that happened too.
It was a good moment for Dale too. And then they sent Tucker's fingers, which is kind of screwed up.
Yeah, gross.
It just shows like I said, yeah, from their point of view, Tucker and Dale probably looked pretty bad. But it just pushed the college kids over the cliff of they're psychopaths.
Yeah.
Because you sent his best friend his fingers. That's weird.
What'd you expect?
On any level. Like that makes you a psychopath. I don't care if they have a friend of yours that you think that they're killing or whatever. Like, as soon as you start harming people, you're both fucked up. Serial killer and you.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be fucked up mentally, and it's obvious that he was fucked up mentally for the rest of the movie. Maybe the entirety
entire
of his,
thing, yeah.
And then Allie's kind of explaining, like, we think that you were the murderers because you looked creepy. And this really, phones in the thing I was talking about earlier with the, don't judge a book by its cover thing. And it's true. Like, you really, even in, like, real life, even today, like, you can't, judge people by what they look like, because you have absolutely no fucking clue. A dude covered in tattoos looks like the biggest asshole in the world, could be the sweetest dude ever.
Usually always the nicest.
And, like, I know this is going to get a little bit political, but, like, there's a big problem with people looking at black people and thinking that they're going to steal stuff. Like, that's just what happens today. But this is one of the movies that is like, you can't fucking do that, dude. You look like an asshole. On both sides.
Yeah.
They looked like creepy hillbillies, and you look like assholes now because you thought that they were murderers just by the fact that they were hillbillies.
Yes, exactly.
And he was also a psychopath. He was already ready for, assumptions to be made, because his whole bullshit parent story or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're somehow trying to save Allie. They burst into the cabin. Or no, they sneak into the cabin at this point, and they're, like, whispering, and, like, she's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm the only one here. Are you stupid? They're like, oh. And they, like, stand up, and they're like, we're here to save you. Let's go. And she's like, no, you idiot. You're not here to save me because there's nothing to save me from, because they're both fine. Just, you're looking at it wrong, or whatever. And then he just will not have it. I think that, like, they did his villain story pretty well, where he just would not have anybody's story except his own. I thought that was pretty good. But another one that was really funny was whenever they were gonna sit, where she suggested they sit and talk about it. She was just like, all right, hold on, let's just
that was really funny.
Let me just make some tea, and we'll just sit down and talk.
We'll understand each other's perspective.
There was no talking with that dude, that crazy kid. He had already figured out what he wanted to, that they were murderers somehow. And then another time this shit hits the fan, the other friends, whatever the hell their names were, they break in. Shit breaks loose, where he fucking tears her face off with a weed eater.
Yeah.
And she like catches him on fire. Or no, the kid throws the lantern at him, and then the other girl throws the paint thinner at him. And like, these kids are so dumb. They don't read labels. They don't stop to think if, like, these are actually murderers or they're just going off the deep end or whatever. And, like, I get it. Like, there were a few times that made it look like they were hurting Allie or murdering somebody or something. But, like, they acted like they had no idea what the hell was going on this whole movie. And it's just, like, at every turn, it was something going wrong for Tucker and Dale. Just like every single time it was someone killing themselves or killing someone else. Crazy. And then the next part of the next part that I liked was, so the house blew up.
Yeah.
And he's missing half his face. And they start to drive away, and Dale is also looking back and not paying attention to where they're going.
I thought that was funny too.
He's just like looking back, and it's like, hey Dale, pay attention to where you're going. And like, you can, us as the viewer, can see the tree coming at the car. Like, you can see it.
Yeah.
And you're just watching the tree get closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden, they wreck. And I really thought it was a nice scene where Tucker's admitting to Dale, like, hey, you were actually better than me. I just told you you weren't. Blah blah blah. You can go. You can get the girl, or whatever. I thought that was a really nice, like, even though they were not brothers, it was a really nice brotherly thing between the two of them. And it goes to show, like, they both act like brothers and best friends, and they really do care about each other and stuff. He was just admitting to him, like, there are some things that you're better than me at.
Yeah.
I was just trying to...
That was a nice scene.
I was trying not to look like an idiot, basically, is what he was saying. And then, all of a sudden, Psycho Kid wants to kill Allie now. On the table saw.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the pain she would have felt.
No thanks.
That's awful.
No thanks. I don't want to
So
think about
bad.
that.
But, like, it's crazy to think that, like, he flipped his lid, like, so quickly.
Uh-huh.
And it went from
He's the
saving
true
her.
psychopath.
He is the true psychopath. He went from trying to save her to wanting to kill her, all based off of, like, nothing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is, like, he had this thing in his mind where they were in some sort of relationship that they were not in. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He just kept saying, you betrayed me and stuff like... Betrayed you for what? There was nothing there. She said she didn't like you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
and, like, he was acting all jealous of nothing because there was nothing between them.
Exactly.
She wanted nothing to do with him, and he's like, you betrayed me. Can't believe you're in love with him. Who cares if she's in love with him?
Yeah.
You're nothing to her. Who gives a
Exactly.
shit? But that just goes to play off on his psycho.
His psycho rage.
Yeah. And then Dale shows up in a really funny way. Of him, he has like that welder's mask and the chainsaw, and the scene of him putting that stuff on is like very influenced or paying homage to the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
When Ash is putting his, outfit together with the chainsaw and the boomstick, and he cuts the barrel off the boomstick and, smacks the barrel off and stuff. It's obviously, that was a big influence for the movie. But it was still, really cool to see him, gearing up, I guess you could say. And then Dale starts fighting the college kid, which is really well choreographed, I think.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And it was really cool to see him, beating the crap out of this psycho kid.
Yeah.
But
when he hasn't, like, done anything.
Yeah.
He hasn't, like, fought or tried to fight.
And it's still crazy to think that, like, this scrawny kid was, like, overpowering Dale, who's, like, this hillbilly that works, like, does, farming and grass cutting every day for a living and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that this little puny college kid was winning, but still a pretty good fight. And then they found the newspaper, found out that his dad was the killer, the murderer. And I thought that it was like a stupid funny, was the half hillbilly thing. She's like, you're half hillbilly. Like, it was so stupid that it was funny.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, that's silly.
Yeah, that's super
silly.
But, like, there's no... Hillbilly is not a race or
No,
anything, so you're
it's
not half
just-
hillbilly. It's just so stupid that it makes
dumb.
it funny. You're half hillbilly. No, that's not true. That scene was so dumb but funny. And then, the kid falls out of the barn and dies in true Tucker and Dale fashion of them never killing anyone. They just kill themselves.
Yeah.
And Tucker's in the hospital and he's showing off his fingers and he has the wrong finger.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't remember that finger looking like that. Alan Tudyk was a great pick for that role.
Yeah.
And the way he delivers that line, he's like, I don't remember it really looking like that. But I'm so high right now. It's just so funny. And like, how did the hospital not know that that was a woman's finger?
Exactly.
Or did they not care?
They just didn't care.
Probably. And then, they were going bowling. He was like, no, I didn't really ask her out, but she wants to go bowling. I was like, yeah, good for you, Dale. Finally, in the movie, you got the girl. And then he actually gets the girl by the end.
Yeah.
And, he starts making out with her while BJ's in the background beating the crap out of that girl. What the hell was that about?
I know.
They never explained, like, what the hell just happened. Just that he just wanted to beat the girl up. But that could also go as far as, like, don't judge a book by its cover, because sometimes it is true. Like, maybe that hillbilly is a psychopath. And you were just looking at the wrong psychopath hillbilly.
Uh-huh.
You weren't looking at BJ, you were looking at, Tucker and Dale. But
exactly.
no, I really enjoyed this movie. This was
Me
a
too.
good pick, Rain. So good job.
Good job. Good one.
Thanks for telling us to watch this one. People always told me to watch it. I don't know why I never did. It is really funny though. I think it's appropriately rated. Maybe an 8, I think.
I think it's appropriate.
7.5 to 8 would be good. And it got a 7.5. I think that's pretty good for the movie. Obviously, it's a parody, but it definitely takes a lot of influence from Evil Dead. I saw some Scream in there, some Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It seemed like they took pieces of influential horror movies and put it in there, just like sprinkled it in.
Uh-huh.
But the biggest thing that this movie had going for it was its ability to make everything go wrong all the time.
All the time.
It was like every turn, everything that would happen was wrong. And I feel like that's what the movie had going for it. That was the excellent part of the movie. That's what, gave it its originality. Is that it was going wrong at every turn. So I got 4 fear facts here. There weren't too many for this movie that I could find, which is fine. I hate when there's like 300 and I have to go through like 50 of them just to pick the best ones. Yeah, and there's probably a better one down at the bottom, but I'm not going through 300.
Yeah.
Like these fact things. So on the DVD, there is a special feature of the entire movie through the kids' eyes, college kids' view. So it's
That's pretty cool.
Like they made 2 movies.
2 in 1.
2 in 1. You can watch it from Tucker and Dale, which is the appropriate way.
Yeah.
But you can also watch it through the kids' eyes and see what they see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because we got glimpses of it. There was one where Dale was standing with the shovel on his shoulder and he pulled Allie out of the hole and whatnot. Like, we got that glimpse and a couple more throughout the movie, but apparently it's like the entire movie through the college kids' eyes, which is cool, I think.
That is pretty cool.
The opening was shot with the cars on the road. It was shot during a thunderstorm.
Oh, shit.
I had no idea. I would have never known if they wouldn't have told me that was during a thunderstorm.
Yeah, I know.
Can't tell.
That's crazy.
The nail gun. This is the first time in a movie that featured a nail gun that you actually see them hook it up to a air compressor, because they just shoot the nail gun. A nail gun can't shoot without air. So you see them hook it up to the air compressor.
Then shoot it.
And then shoot it. But not only that, but people in movies just sit there and pull the trigger, which is also impossible because you have to pull the little safety on top. And you can actually see Dale holding the little trigger, the little safety trigger at the top. You can see him holding it while he's shooting. If you pay attention enough, you can see that like it's extremely accurate to be like real.
Yeah, that's cool.
In most movies that have a nail gun being shot, it's just like someone shooting a gun. But you need air and you have to push that little button.
Yeah.
And they actually
did
accurately
both.
They did both.
That's cool.
And they made it so that you could see see them do it. Um, so when he hits the beehive, this is actually a 2-in-1 because I actually read it after and didn't write it down. But the first one is that when he hits the beehive, he runs exactly like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
Leatherface, he runs almost identical to it, apparently. It's been a long time since I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'd have to watch it again, but apparently, like, with him, with the chainsaw above his head is exactly the same as what he does in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, yes, I could see it, but it's all, the chainsaw is a big thing in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Obviously, it's in the name, but, like, as soon as he comes around that corner, you can obviously, kind of tell what it's pulling in inspiration from. But it's kind of funny that they made it almost identical to the movie. And for the second one, when he gets gets stung in the face and stuff, it was actually Alan Tudyk's improvisation to dump the beer on his face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just did that for the movie, and they left it in, which is really cool.
I thought so too.
And it's a funny little tidbit that you wouldn't know wasn't part of the movie because it's so good and
it
seamless.
Blends in so well,
exactly. So I really did enjoy this movie.
Me too. I thought it was really good.
It was very good. There was supposed to be like more or something, but I don't know if I couldn't find anything about others.
Oh, okay.
Or sequels or anything like that. But I know that there was like talks of more than just this one, which would be cool. I'd watch it.
Yeah, me
if
too.
it was with the same characters.
I'd watch it too.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. This was a good pick, Rain.
Yep, I liked it too.
And this is our 50th episode, which we appreciate everyone listening this far who's listening. And I know we didn't have anything too special for the 50th episode, but throw out a new idea.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, tell you guys some of our favorite episodes and what we like doing. And throw out a new idea of us having a extras YouTube channel, which I thought would be actually kind of funny.
I think it'd be fun.
And yeah, so our next movie is Dead Silence.
Should be good. Pretty creepy.
Is it? Okay. Is it the one with like the dummy on the cover and he's like shushing or whatever? Yeah. I have seen that. Like
it was on Netflix for a while.
Okay, that must have been where I seen it.
I don't know if it still is, but it definitely was.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah, join us in for next week with Dead Silence. It's going to be a good one, she says. And thank you for listening. Thanks for allowing us to get to 50 episodes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And yeah, so we'll catch you next week with Dead Silence.
Catch you later.